Alright guys, after 4 videos, my daughter gave up on me and told me to do it myself. So, no sewing, no embroidering all weekend long. And I took a crash course on webcams and editing. So, you get a change. I hope for the better. My files can be found at gumroad.com/yahats. That's YAHAZ. And this one is all about April showers. Someone from Facebook said I should have a bunny and Easter basket. Another one said I should have April showers. So I thought bunny sprinkling eggs as it goes along. The material you're going to need is a grass fabric 10.5 by 6.5, a sky fabric that is 10.5 by 3.5, a rabbit fur which is 3 by 2, a basket fabric which is 2 by 2, 2 pieces of thick white fabric, one 5 by 5 and one 2 by 2. This covers the umbrella and the eggs to keep the backing from showing through. Blue ribbon fabric that is a 2 by 2 and a backing fabric that's 11 by 7. Also you'll need threads, a brown, a white, a reddish purple, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, lavender, and violet. And here's how to do it. And place your hoop in the machine. I've taped it down really well so it won't get in the way of the camera this time. And we're going to run number 1. This is going to put a placement stitch for the batting. We're going to take our 10.5 by 6.5 piece of batting and place it over that placement stitch. Then we're going to run a placement stitch for the horizon. Run number 2. Place your grass fabric face up over that placement line, covering that line by about 1/4 inch. Then you're going to take your sky fabric and you're going to place that face down over that grass area. Oops, sorry. We're going to open the sky fabric, move it from here, and I'm going to pin it around so that it lays as flat as possible. After you've secured it around the edges, we'll put it back in the machine, the edges of your fabric, so that it doesn't get in the way. I'm going to run number 4. That placement stitch is very wide, and so you can pull it up if you'd like later on after your embroidery stretches your material slightly. Next one we're going to do is a placement stitch for the rabbit. Run number 5. I'm going to cut a couple of these placement stitches. And then cover the area with the rabbit fabric. Run number 6. Remove it from the hoop and we'll cut around it. After you've cut around the rabbit, we'll return the hoop to the machine. And now we're going to run a satin stitch around the rabbit. Run number 7. Now we're going to run a placement stitch for the Easter basket. Run number 8. Cover that with your Easter basket material. And run number 9. Remove it from the hoop and cut around the Easter basket. Return the hoop to the machine. And we're going to do a handle around the top of the basket. Run number 10. Now we're going to run a satin stitch around the basket. Run number 11. I was having trouble with the threads showing through, so I'm going to do a cover to cover the horizon and the grass so that none of my stitches show through. I'm going to run number 12 to make a placement stitch where I can put down my white fabric. I'm trimming the jump stitches so they're not in the way. Thread your machine with white, and we're going to run 13. A little puffy, but it'll be okay. Remove your hoop and cut around the edges. We're going to cover the egg area, so run a placement stitch, number 14. And then take your egg or your background material, take your white material and cover that placement stitch. And we're going to tack it down on number 15. Remove it from the machine and cut around it. Return it to the machine, and we're going to thread with this beautiful peony. It's a reddish purple. We're going to start a rainbow color we're going to run peony number 16. It's going to put eggs in the grass, one panel on the umbrella, and one egg in the basket. Thread your needle with reddish purple peony and run 16. It's a great idea to trim your jump stitches between each color change because the embroidery foot will get caught up and wrapped around it when it tries to do the next eggs. So make sure you trim all these really short. And we're going to change to a red this time. Thread it with red and run number 17. This will put red eggs and panel eggs in the basket. Next we're going to do pumpkin, an orange. I'm going to trim my jump stitches. Thread your needle and run 18. Time to change to yellow. Thread your needle with yellow and run 19. Now it's time for green. This one's Aran green. Thread your needle and we'll run 20. Thread your machine with glue. Time for a placement stitch for your ribbon. Run 22. Place the ribbon fabric over the basket and run 23. Remove it from the hoop and cut around your ribbon. After you've cut around the ribbon, return the hoop to the machine. And we're going to run number 24. It puts a satin stitch around the edge of the ribbon. And it's now time for lavender. And this one says mauve. Thread your needle with lavender. Run 25. Now we're going to change to a violet. And this one says tulip with violet. And run number 26. We're going to run a placement stitch for Happy Easter. I'm going to trim the jump stitches before I go to the next spot, because sometimes when you get to these little tiny areas, the jump stitches are covered over top and you can't get your scissors underneath. Once I have most of the jump stitches gone, I don't seem to catch all of them. I do eventually, or somebody does. Cover your Happy Easter with your material, covering the Easter eggs and at least up to the red bottom of that umbrella. And then we'll run 28 tack down stitch for your material. Now we're going to remove it from the machine, cut your jump stitches, and cut around every single letter. Once you've taped your stuff down, make sure all these little edges are down tight, because when they curl up under the hoop, they just make a mess. They might even pull your fabric up and around. Flip it over and insert it back into the machine. We're going to run a stitch all the way around to tack your backing down. Run 31. I wanted to show you how much this is the exact same line that the other one, the beginning one had, but this is how much the material has pulled forward from all this embroidery. I made an extra wide border so it will cover it up with no problem. So take it out of the machine, cut around it, and we'll run the next satin stitch. Once you've trimmed around your front and back batting also, we're going to return it to this machine. We're going to run a satin stitch all the way around it and run 32. And now we're going to run Easter eggs all the way around it. Run 33. And we're all done. In order to get my files, go to gumroad.com/yahats, YAHAZ. All my files are free. Good night.